Welcome to the show. It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm a little hoarse right now. But I'm here and I'm alive and everything is all good and well. And so who's complaining? But today is Wet Wednesday, and today is the day where we come and we talk about whatever's on, well, my mind, your mind when you come in and talk to me. But until then, whatever's on my mind, and what's on my mind today is the hustle. So we're gonna talk about it. But before we get into the hustle, before, let me do this because we definitely have to pay the bills, and that's a part of the hustle. So check this out really quick. I'm gonna play this one first, and then the other one last.
What does getting it all done actually look like? A lot like this. Meet your new workspace. Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen, am I? Let's try this again. Meet your new workspace. Your whole team, right here. Let me just, sorry, Karen. All those projects on hold, just a click away from complete. Success is closer than you think. It's actually over there, right next to your Success Manager. It's built to expand as needed. The perfect freelancer for every project? Yes, please. Go ahead. You can use the F word as much as you want here. This is your selection of global freelance talent that never sleeps. All vetted for their excellence and their expertise. Love you, Kevin. Only thing left? Add your favorites to your list and share with your team. Okay, not all of them. Leave it to them to tackle all your business needs, leaving you free. Well, at least free to get more done. That's how fast they work.
Ready to transform your business?
Oh, that looks good. Love that. Approved. Oh, still sharing my screen.
I'm back. So today's show theme. I hate to call it a show theme, but that's what we're gonna call it for right now. I'm gonna just say today's show theme is based upon the word hustle, and it means so many different things to so many people. Like for example, where I'm from in Baltimore City, to say I'm about to get out here and hustle, it means it's a multitude of things that could mean. That could mean, yeah, it could mean what some would think of, which is somebody going out and standing on the corner and hustling that way. But the hustle is by all means necessary trying to get to that bag. That's what the hustle means to me. That's what I take it as. Like, for example, let me see. Because I had my thoughts together tonight. I have many hustles. Well, I like to have a couple on the plate at one time. The reason being is I am although I'm not a single woman, I'm in a relationship. I am a single mother, meaning I raised my child with the help of my support system, though. But as far as who takes care of my child 24/7, 365 days of the year, it's me. So in my mind, I'm trying to do whatever I can do to make sure that she has the life that she deserves and the things that I feel like she deserves, and she does. She's an honor roll student. She's a great kid, and so like, I mean, even if she wasn't an honor roll student, if she came from this womb, I got to take care of her. That's just on period. That's on big facts. So yeah, I have multiple hustles. Like for one, for example, this podcast in itself and the company that I started after I started this podcast, it's a hustle. It's a hustle to a greater purpose, to build something, to build an empire. That's how I see it. Um, my marketing agency, although I took a brief break away from it due to Corona, and that kind of changed the way business is done, it's still my hustle. This is still what I do. That's my first baby actually. That's still my hustle. That's still what I love to do. Um, and I even get to do it within doing this podcast. I still hustle. Um, and then I dabble in the retail game a little bit, as far as business is concerned. I don't necessarily want to work for anybody else. So everything that I do has to come down to my hustle and how I'm going to get to it. That sign, oh, it went out on me. But the sign I have, oh no, what went out on me? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, battery probably dying now. But it's a sign that I have behind me. I'm not going to really worry about it too much this evening. Um, I bought it because it says hustle, 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 and it's a daily reminder. It's a daily affirmation of what I need to do every day to make sure that me and mine is good. So yeah, let's dive into it. A little bit further. My question is tonight, and maybe I'll put that in a banner. What does the word hustle mean to you? How does that how does that equate to you? And what kind of hustles do you have? Like, are you out here trying to get to that? Like, what is your hustle? I just told you my three, and there's a couple of other ones on the horizon, but my three are these right now. They're my main focus right now. These are the things that I'm doing to make sure that I can take care of me and mine. Excuse me, I told y'all I'm a little hoarse today. Excuse me. Now, the crazy part is now we're not just going to focus on this evening. This is just one of those things that I'm leading the show with. But what amazes me is that somebody else can laugh at somebody else's hustle. And my thing is like, how can you? How dare you? As long as they out here trying to get it how they need to get it, it's none of your concern about how they get it. Um, how dare you ridicule a person for trying to be proactive and getting to their money so that they can make sure that them and their family and their loved ones are taken care of. One thing that all right, I'm gonna give you an example of somebody laughing at me, and I'm gonna tell you, but they don't know that it actually is pretty lucrative. And I took a hiatus from that for a second too, because I sometimes you got to focus on one thing at a time. Sometimes you can focus on multiple things at a time. At the time that I started this one particular hustle, my daughter had just started going to school. And so I was still trying to figure out the balance of that in itself. And so, yeah, I took a hiatus, I took a break, but now I'm back at it. And this hustle specifically is Avon. Um, so I had somebody laugh at me about, oh yeah, I got some stock, and that's stocks. That's my other hustle. But I had somebody laugh at me because they're like, oh, you sell Avon. One is if you become an Avon representative, first thing you need to know is that you don't work for Avon. You actually work for yourself. It's your business. They supply you with what you need. They got the products. It's more like I wouldn't say drop shipping, but yeah, drop shipping or wholesale. You yeah, you gotta go out here, you gotta make the sales, you gotta entice these customers to buy the product. And it's a lot of women and men out here that actually rock with Avon, believe it or not. But yeah, I brought that hustle back because it was a good hustle. And I'm in a great area right now to kind of bring that back right now anyway. And I listen, I'm good on products and shit like that. I'm good. So why not bring that hustle back? It's a hustle. It's a hustle to earn a dollar to take care of my kid. Why not? Um, but people laughed at me. Oh, you selling Avon? But let me tell you something. Avon ain't what you remember from back in the day. Like, the lady come to your door and was like, Avon calling. That's not how it works anymore. It's changed. The game has changed. Matter of fact, you went on, holla at me. I put you on to the hustle, but it's a whole different ball game now. And it's technology driven at this point. So everything you're doing, you pretty much can do online. But you laugh at me. But guess what? I don't care because at the end of the day, it's my hustle and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to take care of me and mine. But yeah, I had somebody laugh about that. Somebody laughed about this podcast. oh, you're going to do a podcast. What you going to do a podcast on? A variety of things. Whatever tickles my fancy at that moment. I would like, and when I originally started this podcast, I had a partner. I don't think she understood my idea and my thought process, but I wanted to incorporate everything into this podcast that I love. One is I wanted to be able to do the marketing. I'm doing that with this podcast every day. When I'm not live, I'm still working on things for this podcast. So I got to incorporate my marketing expertise into this podcast, and I'm still incorporating them. As soon as I finish this podcast, I don't get to go to bed. I still got to finish work. It's work that needs to be done for all of my businesses. Um, but yeah, they laughed at that. Oh my gosh, you doing a podcast? Yeah, I'm doing a podcast, and it's been pretty good to me. I love doing this podcast, and I don't think I want to quit. But that's also my hustle. You know what I'm saying? See how that works. But you laugh, but it's still going and it's still here and we still building. And we have a beautiful audience that I love very, very much. So it is what it is. But that's my hustle. So my thing is you find your hustle and figure out which way you're gonna go with it and work very hard at it. Because no hustle comes without hard work. I don't care, even if you were a dealer on the streets, you still gotta put in work. You gotta get out there, get rid of the product. You gotta put the product together if you work for yourself. It's a lot of breakdown to the things that you have to do. I shouldn't know that much about that, but I do. I know a little something. I used to have a whole different lifestyle before this podcast. Before I had my daughter, and before I started this podcast, I lived a pretty wild lifestyle. So I know how it's broken down. But at the end of the day, even when people think that these people go out here and they just standing on the corner, no, they're hustling. A hustle is a hustle. Like you just got to take it for what it is. Not saying that it's the right kind of hustle. I can't tell you what the right kind of hustle is for you. But what I'm telling you is this: my hustles are my hustles, and laugh like laugh all you want. But guess what? They my hustles, and they're my means of making sure me and my kid are good. You feel me? That's how I look at it. Um, I only want to surround myself around people that are like, and again, I'm not talking about people that stand on a corner. I'm talking about people who are ambitious. This is why the show is called Ambitiously the Podcast. People who are ambitious and are ready to get out here and hustle and work hard to put it down and make sure that they're doing the things that they need to do in order to make sure that they're successful in whatever their hustle is. So I only want to surround myself around like minds. That's why my circle is very small because I can't be around people who ain't out here ready to. And each hustle is different. Again, you could be a nurse. You're hustling. You out here slinging um the needs for sick people and people who need your help. You're hustling. You getting up every morning. You going out there. You going to work. You're hustling. You're a doctor. You coming out here. You're making sure people are not sick. You're hustling. You feel me? That's a hustle. But don't ever get it twisted. Like you can laugh at the next person's hustle because that's where that hustle might save somebody from being in a really messed up predicament. But you laughing at that hustle, and that's what I'm saying. So I can't surround myself around anybody who's not about the hustle, who's not trying to get out here and get it. Even my spouse, he does multiple. He does a lot of things. He's a producer. He's a drummer. Oh, he get out here and he do his little side hustles, and I respect him for that. It's very inspirational to me to see how hard he get out here to work, and he works. He gets out here, he gets that legitimate money, he gets to it. He does what he has to do. He does what he has to do to take care of him and his. And it's very inspiring to me. And so yeah, like I see him hustling, I'll be like, hell yeah, baby, I gotta find me a new hustle. Like I see it. I see what he out here doing. And that's one of the reasons why, one of the many reasons why I love him. I respect his hustle. You feel me? I don't want to be around nobody who can't get it through their heads that like just everything is not for everybody. Everybody can't have the same hustle. That's why everybody got different jobs and shit. But that's all I have to say about the hustle. It really was like, like, oh yeah. Yeah, I saw Avon. Yes, I still have my marketing agency. Just we took a little break because of COVID and business was kind of slow and everything was going crazy. Don't get it, ever get it twisted. It's still there. And then Ambitiously Entertainment, Ambitiously the podcast. That's a whole nother hustle. And I'm going to keep doing whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing until I can't do it anymore. But I'm gonna keep it moving because I want to talk about a few things. I have a few things that I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! It's not Media Monday. It's Wet Wednesday." But these are very valid questions, and so yeah, it's a couple of valid questions, and a couple of people had a few points, and I want to get to them real quick. I'm not going to go to a commercial real quick because I want to get to this. So, Tashina Arnold, most of you may know her as Pam. She asked a very, very valid question. I believe on Twitter, but I'm getting it from Instagram. But the question is, okay, well, no, she had two questions. So I'm gonna start with the first question and then the final question. The first question is, what can we as Black women do in America to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men in America? That's a good question, Tashina. Um, One is, ladies, this is not nothing personal to y'all. This is just what needs to be discussed. One is making sure that the fathers are able to be there for them. Now, it's not your fault if the father is just MIA, because trust me, fathers go MIA all the time. But if the father wants to be there, if he's a good dad and he's all in, like, yo, I want to play a part in every aspect of my kids' lives, let him. That's how we stop emasculating like men in America. Let them be the fathers that they're supposed to be to their sons, and let them be the men that they're supposed to be. Like, I know it's very hard for some of us to submit. I'm gonna be honest with you. This like the first time in my whole entire life that I've really been able to fully, completely submit to a man. Now, don't get that twisted. Don't you ever get it twisted. So that doesn't mean that he can treat me like anything. That doesn't mean he can treat me like crap. Oh, the joint came back on. I see it on the other camera. I didn't even look at that camera. But anyway, that doesn't mean that you get to come in and treat me like crap because I'm submissive to you. What that means is I respect you as my man, i.e., husband, and I respect your guidance. And I know a lot of Black men think that a lot of Black women don't listen. I listen, but it got to make sense. That's what it boils down to. If it makes sense, I'm going to listen to what you got to say. Like, there's a lot of things my spouse to say to me, and it makes sense. So I'm going to rock with it. But if it does not make sense, then I can't go with it. Hold on. I can hear through my freaking floor. What? But anyway, there's a lot of things that it just has to make sense for me to go with it. But at the end of the day, what submission means to me is that I'm going to respect and honor your ideals and your standpoint. What that submission means to me is I'm going to let you take the lead when you're supposed to take the lead, bro. That's what submission is to me. And then submission can also mean some sexual shit too, but that's neither here nor there. But that's submission to me. But at the same time, there are a lot of women who have a problem with that. I said again, when I first started this part of the conversation, for a long time, I really had a hard time submitting to a man. And I'm gonna give you the real of why I had a hard time doing that. One is the type of men that I chose. Not that I'm not just going to blame it on who they were, but I'm just going to blame it on the type of men. I'm getting business emails. They coming and I'm sorry. But the type of men that I chose, they weren't men that you were supposed to be submissive to. So it was very hard for me to like, okay, I'm gonna be submissive to this man. It was very, very hard for me to do that. Two, Now I'm gonna blame them, the type of men that they were. They weren't ready for a woman to be submissive to them. It was like they wanted that. I don't know why my little light black keeps blinking, but I see it out the corner of my eye. But they wanted a woman that didn't really want to be shit. They didn't want a woman who really wanted to be like an honorable woman, or they didn't really want a woman. And I'm saying that not that they told me that, but their actions showed me that they wanted somebody who was going to be on that rah rah shit and be trying to be all fighting and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but don't get that twisted either, because I'm gonna give it how I get it. You fighting on me, I'm fighting you back. Don't you ever get it twisted. I just don't do people bullying me. I don't even like bullies. Um, so yeah, I have the tendency to be that kind of woman, but at the same time, they didn't want that kind of woman. And you could tell, or if they did, they wanted a submissive woman that was just going to sit down, shut up, not say nothing. And I can't be that kind of woman. I still got to be me at the end of the day. I still got to walk my walk. I still got to travel my journey. And so I couldn't be that. Now, can I say right now at this time in my life, am I submissive? Yeah, I'm a lot more submissive than I do. Like I said, if it makes sense, I'm a follow. I'm a let him guide me right on into where we need to be, but it has to make sense. I just can't just go out and be like, okay, whatever you say. That's not the type of submission. That's not what I think submission is. So as far as emasculating black men, there has to be a degree of submission if you're together. But if you're not together, then you need to allow him to teach his offspring, you know, and be there for his offspring. I think that's where it starts. It starts with the black family and really understanding that like it used to be a certain kind of way, and not saying that all the way everything they did back in the day, but it was a certain degree of honor within the black family. And I think somewhere along the lines they made us believe that we don't have to respect each other, black man, black woman, and it got ugly. But I also say that's like that slave mentality. You know what I mean? Like master tell you how to do something a certain kind of way, you do it. You listen to him, but you don't worry about your family unit. This is why I think personally we kind of have a tendency to mess up as a people. The next question she had was, what can black men in America do to protect the black woman in America? Mm, mm. That's also a good question. I can't tell a black man how to protect his family, but first it starts with the woman allowing the black man to protect her. I'm going to start there. But that also goes to the next thing that I'm gonna actually play in a second because I wanted y'all to hear this because y'all know I play devil's advocate over here, and sometimes it's like, yeah, they right, but are they right all the way right? We don't know, but we're gonna get to that one in a minute. But as far as that, first it has to be an allowance because they can't protect us if we don't allow them to protect us. And what I mean by that is a lot of women run around, I don't need no I don't need no man for this and I don't need no man for this. And I can do it all by myself. I can't do it all by myself. It's things that I need my black man for. It definitely is. And it's things he need me for. You feel me? But protection, I think it boils down, and I said this in the previous show, protection boils down to the degree of which you use that word. Like, again, it's certain scenarios that happen in these last few weeks that I don't feel are protection. Are you honoring, defending her honor? Yes, but that's not protection. I need us not to use that word loosely. So I think that's another thing. But as far as black men, I can't tell a black man how to protect how he feels that he needs to protect his family or his woman. You feel me? I'm not a black man. I'm a black woman. But I know in order for the black man that I choose to protect me, I have to allow him to be the lion that he needs to be. That's that. I mean, they can't protect you if you saying, "Well, I don't need you for this, and I don't need this." It's kind of impossible. It's kind of redundant, if you ask me. You gotta find the balance and figure out, you know, what it is that you need to allow. I'm not saying allow any old thing because again, I don't let people treat me any kind of way. I'm a fighter. I will fight you back. I don't care. But I also understand that in order for the black man to protect me, I have to allow him to be there and be that presence in my life in order to do so. And that's kind of where that's what I feel about that. Like, but at the same time, make no mistake about it. That don't mean, ladies, let him run all over top of you and do whatever. No, that's like okay. Here's another thing I'm gonna get to. Wait, I want to find this one thing really really quick because I wanted to talk about this and I know I have it. But anyway, when it was in the melee of all this bull crap. The thing is, like, at the end of the day, um, nobody should treat anybody like shit. That's just that. Um, okay, here's one of them, but that's one of the ones I wanted to play. It was two of them though. And if I don't find the other one, then I'm gonna just paraphrase. But I hate paraphrasing because I like to actually have the actual content. Um, and I cannot find it, but I'm gonna keep looking as we discuss what's going on. A lot of times, we as Black women, because we've been through so much and we've been hurt so much, and we've been a lot of us have been abandoned. I myself have been there myself before a time or two. I'm grateful that, forgiveness is in my heart and it allowed me to forgive and move on. And then I didn't feel that abandonment anymore because I let go, right? I let go and I released all the anger and bullshit. Okay, I ain't finding the other one. I don't think I grabbed that one the way I wanted to. Sometimes I'll be in here just and I try to grab what I want to grab, but not necessarily does that always work out. But this one, we're gonna listen to this young lady speak on it in a second. But I think that a lot of situations, unfortunately, we kind of cause ourselves sometimes too. Like is you gotta know when to draw the line on the fuck shit. You just have to. And don't you gotta also understand that you cannot let anybody tell you what you're supposed to accept as a human being. Same thing for the fellas too. Like you just gotta know that there's a line that should be never crossed. But at the same time, you do have to give in a little bit. If you want the protection, then you have to give in a little bit. You can't be all, and I'm telling you from firsthand experience. I used to run around these streets like, nigga, I ain't soft. I'm a rock. And in that sense, I wasn't soft. I was a rock. My guard, I told y'all last show, my guard has always been like up. It's always been a brick wall. And so, you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard for somebody to just come tear that motherfucker down. And if you are the special individual that did so, you're beautiful, which I did find somebody that was able to do that. But it was a hard fight, trust me. And wasn't nothing easy about that at all. But I want to listen to this young lady real quick. I had to turn my Bluetooth on really quick. And let's listen to what she had to say, and we'll talk about it in a second.
You know what I noticed about some women is that some women expect for a man to love her unconditionally, but she wants to love this man under conditions. What this man can do for her, how much he can provide, how much money he make, where he work, what type of job he doing. But this man is supposed to accept you with open arms. Maybe you have yet to heal from childhood trauma. Your mama and your daddy failed you. You still have abandonment issues, baby. You insecure with yourself because you sitting here comparing yourself to this girl on social media. You don't even like the way that you look. But this man is supposed to accept you and love you unconditionally. Have you checked on that man's mental health? Have you called him and asked him, is he okay? Did you tell him that he was a king? Did you make
Damn it.
and man, that may not be your job, but it ain't your job to damn sure as hell stress that man out. But he gotta love you unconditionally and take you and your badass kids. I'm sorry. Call me back.
Isn't she great?
All right, so let's get to that. It is very hard for you. I mean, it's very a very disrespectful thing for you to tell somebody that you want them to love you unconditionally and you can't love them unconditionally back. And so what I'm gonna say is I agree to this point. We all have flaws. I say this say this to a lot of people. We all have flaws. None of us are perfect. All of us have our individual hiccups. You feel me? Our individual boo boos that need a band aid. We all deal with things. Um, it is very important to understand that everybody goes through their own personal trauma, their own personal things, their own personal issues. And so if you base your relationship on what he got and what he could do for you, then you're not gonna be happy because at some point in time you're gonna get tired of like who's gonna keep um I'm worrying about making sure you straight all this. I'm like, who wants to keep sometime? And I'm not saying it's a monetary thing. This is the very important thing to understand. It's not always a monetary thing. Sometimes they just want to feel cared for too. Sometimes they want to be checked on too. Sometimes they don't. Ladies, don't overdo it though, because some men just trust me. It's going and then you become naggy. So you do have to find the balance of how you can situate that and worry about him without being a nag. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But if you really care for that individual, you'll put in the work. Just like if he really cares for you, he'll put in the work for you too. He gonna make sure you good. He gonna make sure you all right. He gonna call you and check to see if you good. He gonna text you and ask you if you okay. That's part of a relationship. As far as the unconditional love, yes, I want somebody that loves me unconditional, but I want somebody who also allows me, because that's what she didn't say, allows me to love them unconditionally, allows me to love them with their flaws and with their imperfection, allows me to love how perfectly unperfect they are. It's all about what you allow. And I think that people don't really get that part. Like it's not just um well, you gotta be like this and you gotta be like that. Every relationship is different. No relationship is the same. I can honestly testify that I've had some really shitty relationships and then I have this relationship that's different. It's different kind of scenario. And now I'm not gonna say that those gents didn't love me. I'm gonna just say that they didn't love me enough to rock with me the way that I needed them to rock with me. But that don't mean that they didn't love me, and that don't mean that I didn't love them. But they were shitty relationships. You see what I'm saying? But in order for anybody to have a positive or a healthy relationship, it's all about balance and communication. See, I can want you to love me. I can want you to love me unconditionally, but I also, as a woman, me personally can't speak for everybody else. I just can speak for me. I want to be with a man who allows me to love him unconditionally. Flaws, the fuck and all. You're gonna do shit, you're gonna fuck up, but I'm here and I see that you're not perfect. And I respect that you see that I'm not perfect. Um, as far as what people can buy for you, I personally want somebody that I can build with. But I've said this, I know I've said this a million times on this podcast. I haven't said it lately. I don't want to be this. It's like somebody saying, well, I had to get my shit together. before I could get into a relationship. Well, this is why we're not rocking with each other, and this is why I'm where I'm at. Because I don't, that's some bullshit. That's a bullshit excuse to me. I got to get my shit together before I can be with you. No, nigga. If we gonna be together, we gonna be together, and we gonna build together, and that's just on period. I want somebody I can build an empire with. I don't want to be with somebody who's like, oh well, you gotta wait until I figure out all my shit first. No, I want to help you figure out your shit, and I want you to help me figure out my shit. I want to do it together because at the end of the day, when you get with somebody, the real goal is, to build some sustainable love. Most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people want to get married and settle down and all of that. Well, if you get married and you settling down, even if you don't get married and y'all just decide y'all going to be life partners, at the end of the day, you still have to be able to build together. And I think that a lot of people lose hindsight when it comes to that. Um, a lot of people lose hindsight when it comes to that. Now, the other thing that I was looking for that I could not find because I didn't grab it like I wanted to grab it, which is my fault. My bad, y'all. Where the young lady was talking about, the things that's happening, like a lot of conflict comes um because of ladies. And I'm like, but again, devil's advocate, I'm always gonna play that. I agree, but I don't agree. Basically, what she said, I wonder if I can find that real quick. While I'm saying paraphrasing what she said, basically what she was saying was a lot of these situations where these dudes, I mean, people was telling people to stop the violence and you know they need to stop what they doing. Basically, what she was saying was a lot of times it be some of our fault because we say shit like "I'm gonna go get my brother." Well, I ain't never said that, and you can ask my brothers if they was on here. They'll tell you I ain't never said that. I always been a girl out here ready to fight my own battles, even though I know they got my back and they'll fight on my behalf. But I'm just not a sucker, and you're not gonna play with me any kind of way. All right, so no, it wasn't on here. But I know a few ladies who have been quick to be like, I'm gonna go get my brother or I'm gonna go get my cousins and I'm gonna bring them back so they could do this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. Watch when you do that kind of stuff, though, y'all, because then somebody gets hurt. And really, it is your fault that somebody got hurt because you didn't have to take it there. Nobody needed to be involved other than you and the party. And if it's that serious, get the fuck away from him. It's just that simple. You don't have to be in a situation that you don't want to be in. You don't have to be surrounded by people that you don't want to be surrounded by. Just get the fuck away. It's that simple. I really want to find this clip because what she said made sense, but at the same time, it was like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it right about now. But dang, yeah, I can't believe I didn't get that clip. It's just mind blowing that I didn't get that clip. But you know, life is what it is, and nobody's ever gonna really have all the answers of what is supposed to happen and how things are supposed to go. Nobody really knows what another person's situation looks like. So you just gotta take it with a grain of salt at this point. No, don't be bringing people into your bullshit. You fucking with a nigga, he ain't doing you right. Get out of there. Don't even sit there and try to play with it. Um, and if you do, then don't bring your peoples into it. And that solve a lot of problems. But that doesn't mean that all of the nonsense and all of the bullshit that's happening in these streets is because of us ladies. Don't you ever like that's why I said I'm on the fence. Because at the same time, a lot of these people be out here doing what they do because they're fucking knuckleheads and don't have nothing to do with us. Um, to try to blame it all on a girl is ridiculous. So just we gotta watch how we tread with the things that we say. Everything we say ain't on point. Some things are on point. I mean, I say some stuff that's probably not always on point. But at the end of the day, like I said what I said, and you take it or leave it. It's just what it is. Dang, y'all, I really want this clip. Um, oh man. All right, I might not get to play it today because I got some other things I gotta get to. What time we on? I might got a little bit of time to play it. Um, mm. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know what happened today? I saw a clip where Shaq was talking. I could probably find that one. And I thought it was so commendable of him to say what he said because a lot of gents don't acknowledge women either, for that matter. Um, don't acknowledge where they go wrong at or where they fuck up at. And today I seen this clip of him speaking and him acknowledging where he went wrong with Shawnee. And I watched a gentleman. I think the name of this podcast is called Pivot or something like that. But I watched a gentleman try to switch it up real quick, like, oh, it's two people in that situation, so you couldn't really have controlled it. And here you go. Listen. So listen. Hold on.
With a divorce, you controlled your life forever. You can't control that. Like
I could have,
but you can't.
No, I could have.
It's two people that involved in the divorce, bro.
Yeah, but no, I never talked about this, and I'm glad you guys are asking because I don't mind talking about it. But I was bad. She was awesome. She really was. It was all me. I was just look. We don't need to talk about what I was doing, but I wasn't protecting her and protecting those vows. So sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up. So I'm not gonna say it was her. It was all me because she was. Look, she did exactly what she's supposed to do. Gave me beautiful kids, take care of the house, take care of corporate stuff. It was just all me. Sometimes when you make a lot of mistakes like that, you can't really come back.
With a divorce.
So this gentleman is one of the same dudes that was in the room talking about that Sierra and Ross situation. So in my mind, I feel like he has a lot of animosity and hostility towards women. I'm going to just deal with that first because how, like, for him to think that Shaq couldn't control how his situation went tells me that he's a little bit hostile towards women. My point being this, like, and I like how Shaq answered that because he's like, I could have. But I didn't. I didn't protect, I didn't do the right things. I was doing real bad things. He didn't throw Shawnee under the bus. I just didn't do it. But I see how dude be doing now. I'm watching him and I'm watching how he get down. I think maybe he just say things for controversy. I don't know. I can't call it yet. I probably should sit down and watch the show a little bit more to just get a gauge of him. But every time I turn around, it's like something that's to put a woman down. And that's crazy to me. That's insane. And there's a lot of men out here that will, admit to their wrongdoing. Shaq being one of them, apparently, because he just did. He just cleared that up. But for some strange reason, like, in my mind, I'm thinking dude is thinking like, no matter what I do as a man, she's just supposed to stick it out and just be there. No, because it's two people in a relationship. Yeah, you're right. And in order to get a divorce, two parties have to be involved. But only one party has to fuck up the whole situation for the divorce to be on the table. It's just that simple. Then on top of that, not everybody's a tit for tat person. Like if I get cheated on, I'm not going to cheat back on you. I'm going to leave you. And I'm going to go ahead about my business and I'm going to keep it because life goes on. Like it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to have to do what I have to do. But for him, he was doing the most. He was. And I just now that I've listened to it for a second time of how he was kind of, well, no, because you controlled everything in your life, but you couldn't control that because it takes two. No, he couldn't control her filing the paperwork, but he could have controlled everything up until before she filed the paperwork. He could have controlled his actions, and he said that. And so I respect Shaq for that because a lot of people get it twisted. You don't get to keep on doing people wrong and then think that they just supposed to sit around and deal with it. No. Everybody has their breaking point. Everybody comes to that point where they like, yo, I had enough. I had enough. I had enough, and that's it. So, dude is wild though. Like that's the same dude is talking shit about Sierra only being with Russell because he had money like she didn't have money before she met him. Like, dude, get out of here. Like he trips me out. But I want to show some love real quick because I need to get to the love. I can't do my peoples like that just because people out here talking right. Reckless. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the work though. I'm a little tired this evening, but it's off. I'm tired for a greater cause, so nobody's complaining. All right, so I'm gonna go country by country / territory by territory. Let me put that water down. And then I'll do the top cities and make sure that I don't miss anybody because I can't do that. United States, I love you, babies. I love you so much. Thank you for downloading the podcast. You don't have to, but you do, and I appreciate you for that. And I'm gonna tell y'all how to get to the podcast when you need to in a minute. Um, France, as always, babies, I love you. Germany, as always, I love you as well. India, I love you. Brazil, I love you. The Netherlands, I love you. Singapore, I love you. South Africa, hey, I love you. United Kingdom, I love y'all. Y'all came through in the clutch. I don't even know what, but thanks to the United Kingdom. Spain, I love you. I do. I do. Philippines, Belgium, Australia, I love you guys too. Japan, yeah, Japan. Mexico, Ireland, Nepal, Mauritius, Israel, Canada, and Hong Kong, and newly added to the list, Russia. I love you guys. Let me make sure ain't nobody else on this list that I don't know about though before I jump to the cities because we ain't missing nobody over here. We don't get down like that. We show love to everybody that show love to us. Let me make sure. Let me make sure real quick. I'm gonna be fast. I'm gonna be fast. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Keeps trying to slide through. Okay. United States, United Kingdom, India, Japan, Russia. All right. I got everybody on the countries. Okay. So I'm gonna do these top cities and then I'm gonna keep it moving and let y'all know the information that y'all need to know in a second. But anyway, so Columbus, Ohio. Hi, babies. Thank you for the love. San Jose, California. Hi, babies. My day ones. I love you. Thank you for the love. Baltimore, Maryland. My city. On period, Pooh. I love you. Um, no, France. I still am not comfortable. I'm not ready yet to say the name of the city, but I'm gonna do it one day. Watch when I do it. Y'all gonna be like, what? Spring Valley, Nevada. I love you. Frankfurt. Hi, Germany. Love you. Washington, Virginia. Hi. Thanks, babies. I love you. Ashburn, Virginia. Thank you, babies. Love you too. North Las Vegas, Nevada. I hope everything is good over there because I love y'all and I gotta make sure my babies is good. Norton Shores, Michigan. Love you. Chicago, Illinois. I love you. Boardman, Oregon. I love you. I do. Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, ATL. I love you. Las Vegas, that's the other part of Vegas. I love you. I love you, Las Vegas, Nevada. Owens Mills, Maryland, I love you. Pikesville, Maryland, I love you. Boulder City, Nevada, I love you. And shout out to Philly. And I love you too. If I didn't call the name of your city, then what you can do is, so I'm able to call the name of your city because I'll see you then, is you can go download the podcast. And move up in the list ranking so I could really have you on the top of the list so I could really show y'all love. Hold on, we got oh thanks, Unc. My uncle told me to keep up the good work. Thank you, Uncle. But yeah, you want to move up in the list? Here's what you do. Go, we are on all streaming sites. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Shoot, we everywhere. Just go download the podcast and I'll shout y'all out. I'm just saying. Just saying. I haven't played any music, but any music I play on this podcast, I have full permission to play. But here's what we need to get to real quick, because there's some things going down. Some things going down. First of all, we are going to be doing a live show from this event on Friday. This Friday. Hold on. Let me take that down real quick. This Friday. Um, it's an event coming up for Beats Not Bullets. And we're gonna be hosting live from that event. So I'm gonna play this again. This Friday, the doors open at 9 o'clock. Come through, hop on camera. Um, 50% of the proceeds is going to be not bullets, and that's a program that helps the youth focus their attention on being creatives and not being out here in these streets going ham. We got two panels coming up. I'm gonna play this again. We got two panels coming up. One on May the 1st, and also one on May the 8th. We still have available slots. Holla at me. I'm here for all the voices, not just podcasters, just anybody who wants to come through and say what they feel and what's on their minds. And then last but not least, Preakness Music Arts Festival. I will be filming live from that event as well. Come through. Holla at the girl. Say hello. I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there with the camera and all that. I'm gonna be ready to go. So come through and holla at your girl. But this Friday, make sure y'all show up. The address is 1700. Let me make sure. Let's put it back up so we can make sure. I believe the address is 1700. Yep, North Charles Street. I've been telling the wrong address. It's at the Metro Gallery. 1700 North Charles Street at the Metro Gallery. That's where we will be. So come holler at me. Say hello. I have been posting a flyer. And I'll continue to tomorrow and Friday as well. But I'm gonna be there. So come holler at me. So what else we gotta talk about? There's some good stuff happening. They got a comedy joint going on. They still looking for performers. If you are a comic, holla at me. I'll put you in contact with them. So you can go ahead and get your little shine on. But they're doing their thing. Also check this out real quick. This album is out now. Go check this out.
1 2 1 2. Yeah. Yo yo. You can hear me. What up, nigga? Hey yo, Matt. Yeah. What up, Let's get on that tip real quick. You feel me? Already. Show these niggas what's up, yo. Yeah. What's the word? Hope they see that he ain't forward. Hit the lab when I'm bored. Overseas fan base keep on asking for more. Wipe shop till she drops. She got bags.
Yeah, that's out now. Go on all streaming sites. Go get that. Pretty dope project. I've heard all of the songs because I'm lucky like that. Go check it out. Yo, it's dope. Don't forget to, as soon as they hit me with a trailer, I'll reach out to them tomorrow too. The same people who have the comedy joint going on, Majestic Behavior. They also have a movie about to drop. It's called Number 9. I will give you more info on that. If you have not, go check out the interview I've done with them. I've also done a nice amount of interviews so far, so go check those out as well. Pretty good interviews. What time is it? Okay, we good on time. I do have to play a commercial real quick. I haven't done that yet. Check this out.
Want last-minute brand design help? Get top-tier Fiverr freelance creatives at your fingertips, fast, with secure payments and 24/7 support. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
Okay, I'm back. But yeah, like it's just some things that we have to understand as men and women and as people of color. Like, I know we have this stance that we have to be hardcore on both sides. When ladies, it's a lot of us that run around talking about we don't need a man for shit. That's not true. Fellas, it's a lot of men running around just with this anti-woman antic and gotta drop and let it go. All women aren't bad, all men aren't bad. And so just get over it. Get over whatever it was that you went through in your past and just understand that some shit happens. but you can't live in the shit. You got to keep it moving and be a better person, become a better individual. And that's that. So also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It takes you 1 second to click the button. It's free. And you like it and you sharing and you subscribe and helps this podcast. If you want to donate to this podcast, there is a link um available. It says where to go. You can do a one-time donation. You can do a recurring donation, or you can sign up for a subscription so that you can get all the exclusive content. Because there's some content that you guys will not be seeing because Facebook and YouTube be playing with me, and in that arena, I could do what I want to do. I could say what I want to do, say, and I can play what I want to play, and nobody's gonna get me. So the link is in the description. Also, as far as Fiverr, link is also in the description. Good for helping you build your business. Check out our website, www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com. Again, www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com for the latest on whatever's going on around here. Try to keep it together. Trying to keep it together. I still haven't decided if I want to do this call-in line, but we're gonna see what happens. If you want to come on the show, if you have a business you want to promote, if you have some music you want to promote, a movie, if you just want to talk about some things, hit me up. Again, ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com, ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com. You see a screen. I'm streaming across the screen. I might get tongue tied when saying these things, but you know what I mean. If it's on the screen, that's what I'm talking about. Crazy out here though, y'all. I'ma just say, just be careful how you move. And if you want a certain situation to be a certain, you just know that you have to give just as much as you receive. And that's what it is. And don't forget to get out here and get your hustle on. But that don't mean go stand on nobody's corner. That means find your avenues, find the things that you are good at and turn them into a hustle. I'm putting on makeup, even though I refuse to do it right now. But I don't know if I want to do it this summer because it's gonna be hot. But uh, but I do. I'm gonna have some on Friday. But I like clothes. I like fashion. I like makeup, and I like to find an inexpensive, because some products that I use, people ask me where I get them from, and they're not really the cheapest products. But at the same time, I also use Avon myself. I got a whole bunch of products in here. That's the type of person I am. I am a marketer. That's where I started at. Well, actually, I started with freelance writing, but then I became a marketer, and I liked it there. I became a content marketer. I liked it there, and so I still love it there, and I'm still going to do that. That's one of my hustles. And then at the end of the day, you see me. I'm talking to you right now. This podcast is one of my hustles. Find you a hustle. But don't let nobody tell you that your hustle ain't shit. You tell them, worry about yourself. Worry about your own hustle. Because what I'm about to say in a few minutes is going to equate to that. But you worry about your hustle and let me worry about mine. Let me worry about what I got going on. What I got going on has nothing to do with you. Yeah, I might let you see it, but it's not your place to tell me what I am and what I'm not, and what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. It's not your place. It's not your lane. So with that being said, I'm getting ready to give you my salutations. And with that, what I normally tell you is this: mind your fucking business. Let me mind the business for you, and then I'll come tell you the business. It's safer that way. You stay out of trouble. I'm cool. I ain't worried about what's going on with me, but you'll be safe. And then I'll come tell you the business. Secondly, love on your children. Tell them how great they are, how beautiful they are, how beautiful their minds are, and how you can't wait to see them prosper and do great things. I tell my daughter that all the time. I can't wait for her to go and fulfill her dreams of working for NASA. She's a honor roll student. She's in academic honors. I couldn't be more proud. Bless them babies. Tell them they great. Stay in your fucking lane, y'all. this hustle conversation that we had today is all about you staying in your lane. My lane ain't your lane, and your lane ain't mine. And at the end of the day, you know what happens when people cross lanes? Collisions, and that's never good. And you don't want no collisions over here, so stay in your lane. And at the end of the day, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming through, checking the podcast. If you did, if you didn't, I don't know. But thank you. I love you guys. And to my listening audience, I adore you so much because y'all come through and y'all download and you consistently come through and download. This is how we keep reaching our goals. And I appreciate you so much for doing so. And so yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for that. I appreciate you for that. Like it's a beautiful thing it is. And with that being said, I am about to break up out of here, but I love you guys. Have a good night. Tune in this Friday, a live show. We are doing a live show from location, good music, some fun. If you can, if you're in the Baltimore area, stop to 1700 North Charles Street because that's where it's going down at. And at the Metro Gallery. I will be there with my cameras and all that. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready. Well, my camera, because I only need one this time. But I'm going to be there, and I hope to see y'all there too. So with that being said, good night. Love you.